Yo, what's up guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Underdog Eats Views, and I watched X-Men Apocalypse. Not for the first time, for the third time. Yes. Jesus, 3 times in 9 years. Well, it, it's just a good movie. Come on. But I have also some exciting news for, well, it has nothing really to do with the channel, but for myself. I'm gonna get a new tattoo, so I'm very excited for that one, and it's gonna be a sleeve here on my left under leg. Yeah, I'm gonna take an anesthesia obviously for that. That's a bit numb then, because it will be a day session, multiple day sessions, and I can't sit in a chair for 8 hours getting tattooed. Yeah, obviously some breaks in there, but I can do that for 8 hours, without some numbing cream or whatever, so I have to take something for that. My other tattoos I did without, but this one is so big, and it's on my shin and on the back of your leg, so it's gonna be painful either way. But I just have to take it, but that's not what you're here for. But I'm very excited. And obviously, I will make a video about it when it's done. I'm very excited. Anyway, it will definitely be. One day session is 700 euros. There's an action going on. And a sale, not really a sale, but a discount. Originally it's. I also will, in the video, I will also mention the tattoo shop that, that did this. Obviously, I will give a big shout out to them, because, they did obviously the work. And they deserve then a shout out. But, the normal price was 950 bucks. But the discount was for 150 euros less. That was the discount then, plus free consulting, which is normally 50 bucks. But he said, because I wanted to a sleeve, and it's for multiple sessions. He says, what, I'll lower the price even more for 700 bucks per session. And that's pretty reasonable, and it will be definitely the most expensive tattoo that I will get for now. But sometimes you have to treat yourself. I want to take this tattoo actually when I reached 80 kilograms, but I will reach it either way. I have a gym subscription, so I will reach it. But let's just start with X-Men Apocalypse, because that's what you're here for. But I just want to share that exciting news. Okay. We hear Charles talk while the camera flies over the desert. It's heading towards the pyramid, and when it's there, we see where we are. We're in Nile Valley, 3600 BCE. And we see a whole city, a whole city, what was back in that day, a whole city, maybe even a civilization. But that, and the camera goes over the pyramid, and then we see people, on their knees, all praising and worshipping I think the pharaoh, that's being carried towards the pyramid. We see, we get the up shot, we get the above shot from that they're walking inside the pyramid, and inside we see the pharaoh with his four disciples with yeah, kind of big golden masks um, of like Anubis, Ra, um, and two others. The four horsemen basically. Um, and the pharaoh himself was also one of those. And we see them entering the room where already people are, and then they cut somebody, but he heals immediately. So that means that he has a healing factor, and basically a whole ritual um, is going to start. But we're gonna leave it at that, because if you don't know what's gonna happen next, you have to watch the movie yourself. Like I said, this is the third time that I watched the movie. It is just a really good movie, actually. I, but you have to watch it obviously in order, because if you watch this without order, some things doesn't make sense here and there. Um, and I also think, oh wait, how does this possible? How can they meet Kurt right here? Well, in the original X-Men from 2000, they met him in a church. Storm and Jean, met him in a church. But obviously, Days of Future Past made the whole future now, the whole story, the whole timeline is different. So it makes sense now. So it's kind of fun to see characters that we already know, but then they're younger now. Um, how we meet them again, but in a different circumstances. You know, that in my opinion, I found that very fun. Um, I haven't seen Phoenix, the movie. Phoenix. I haven't seen that one, so I hear that it's shitty actually. But I'm kind of excited actually. I'm kind of excited because I never seen it before. Um, but we saw a bit of Jean's Phoenix powers also in this movie near the end. Um, Interesting that, well, I've seen this movie twice before, but I don't remember shit basically. Um, but it's interesting that she is actually the one that, well, spoilers, that she's the one that can defeat the main guy, um, main villain. That was pretty interesting actually. Um, yeah, what I also like, the fighting scenes in this movie also very nice. We saw Wolverine made the cameo again, um, as his you know bewildered self, um, which was also very nice to see. I just really like Wolverine, but come on, who doesn't like him? Um, yeah, the scene, the slow motion scene with Quicksilver. Yeah, that one that I did remember when I saw it. For oh yeah, I remember this one. I've seen those on YouTube before. Um, it, it's just such a fairy scene. How he saves everybody. Um, well, except for one person who was too close, which I didn't know was Cyclops' brother. But it kind of makes sense actually if you think about it. They basically have kind of the same power. But what was also interesting, because in First Class he Havoc, he could only shoot it out of his chest. But in this movie he developed his power so in such a way that he not only can shoot it out of his beam out of his chest, but also out of his hands. Um, which was pretty interesting actually. Um, but sad that he passed away. Um, I I was also curious. I was curious from yeah, what happened to the people in from first class, like Banshee? Um, well, we know that Aziz was dead. Um, uh, Pixie, I think her name was, yeah, the one um, with the wings, and that could spit something. Um, well, we knew what happened to Darwin. He died on spot when he met Sean. Um, but yeah, I I was kind of curious what happened to them, but we got actually a kind of an answer in this movie that Hank and Mystique are the only ones of the X-Men from first class, from those kids, well, kids, young adults, that they are the only ones who survived, which, kind of sad actually. But I'm kind of curious, how did Banshee die? The one that could scream, um, very loud. Well, that hence the name Banshee. But I'm curious, what happened to him, How did he pass away? If you know it, maybe it's being told in the comics, but I don't know if the comics, if this movie it follows the comics or this movie is just, you know, um, just written this way, that they didn't base it this movie, the timeline of this movie on some of the comics. Maybe they did, but if they did, please put down below in the comment section how Banshee passed away, because I really am curious what happened to the guy. Um, yeah, it's what I also liked about this movie is how the main villain Apocalypse gave um, like Storm, Angel. Now we didn't see him really doing it with Psylocke, um, but how he gave definitely Angel and Storm um, upgraded powers. Like Angel had, we saw him in the original X-Men. He was the one with the wings. He was a kid, and then he got his wings uh, every time short, and his dad made a cure that Rogue actually took to become normal. Um, but he got iron wings in this movie due to Apocalypse. He gave his old feather wings an upgrade with iron wings, which was actually also cool to see how the upgrade um, was given to him, basically. How he upgraded. Um, how he evolved, was pretty nice to see actually. But I'm gonna leave it at that. I will give this movie a 5 out of 5. It was just, a really fun movie to watch again, especially now that we do this, did the whole Marvel franchise in order. So it was nice to see this movie after watching Days of Future Past. So now some things make more sense. I've seen only a clip from Eric in DC, and near the end I've seen only maybe 10-15 minutes of the movie. Um, so it was really a first time watch, and this movie I've seen twice before I've seen it, on the channel. So, um, it makes more sense now. Some things. So, yeah, go watch the movie yourself, but don't forget to leave a like. Recommend a good superpower movie that's not related to Marvel or DC. Like Spawn. I really want to watch Spawn. Maybe I've already put it in to watch it, but yeah. Recommend just a very good movie. I have to plan the movie in because I plan my movies in since a couple months. Well, since last year I plan in movies. So I think I planned already until March is already until March is already full. I planned, yeah, planning, you know what I mean. But anyway, tomorrow we're gonna get Doctor Strange, which I've seen once. Yeah, I've seen that movie once. I remember that I enjoyed it, so I can't wait to watch Doctor Strange. So come to our Discord, subscribe to the channel, and tomorrow we're gonna watch Doctor Strange. Bye.